Jazz Tupelo, Bill Dwight here. Let's see. Please join us tomorrow.
What are we talking about?
Please join us tomorrow. We'll be
At Sirius.
at Sirius hanging out in the produce section where
Be
we
hosting more live music.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get enough of that. We were just fresh out of our gig at Lookstock where we didn't do anything other than scream.
And I danced.
And jazz
I
danced.
danced,
But the performers were the ones. It was the trans performers were our transplendent, as we said. It's also I left my voice at Look Park. But tomorrow the triumphant return of Roger Saloom will make his first public performance since he was laid low by a heart attack, and he's gonna play for us in the aisles of Syrio, serenading you as you shop. Come join us. Come check us out. Also, Henning Olenbush, who, as I've described, fronts for 32 bands here in the Valley and writes for every darn one of them. He is prolific, talented, brilliant,
and tall.
And tall. That's right. He is tall. He's a long, tall drink of water. He'll be with us as well. So lots of music, and then our own inimitable, indomitable spirit, Kelsey Flynn, the BB in a bucket, who will be joining us and talking about the play, the Shakespeare play, Taming of the Shrew. She plays the title character. And if you haven't seen the posters around town, check them out. There's posters of Kelsey looking Depression era, photo like with her little dog Willa popping out of a suitcase, and brilliant poster. I think that alone will probably get more people to show up at the Pines on August 29th. It's Saturday, August 29th.
Yeah, we're hoping that the Taming of the Shrew isn't going to be done by a tropical storm coming up the coast.
Yeah, Hurricane Wally, Danny. Please, Danny's got nothing on Hurricane Bill. We're already up to Danny. How soon we forgot Bill, right? But hurricanes putting a kibosh on weekends all up and down the East Coast. Why not Texas? What's wrong with Texas? Well, don't get me started what's wrong with Texas. But hurricanes, if you're hearing me, how about, let's see, Danny. How about Hurricane Frank? Go lay low. Go get George Bush and go flood his ass. Although theoretically, actually, I believe George Bush will be attending Ted Kennedy's funeral, as will his father.
Well,
George
Frank
Bush.
will, it'll take some time. So
there you go.
Anyway, coming up next week.
Oh, that's right. Next week we have Radio 2. Next week we'll talk with my friend Mary Wentworth, who wrote a piece back on January 14th commemorating, reviewing, acknowledging the 40th anniversary of the Chappaquiddick accident that killed Mary Jo. June 14th, I think. That killed. June. Mary Jo Kopechne had died in Ted Kennedy's car, a victim of drowning. And there's been speculation, a victim of foul play as well. And Mary Wentworth has done considerable analysis and study and offers something that's a little more viable as a theory as to what happened that day 40 years and a couple of months ago. And this in particular in conjunction with the fact that it was a pivotal point in Ted Kennedy's career, for better or for worse. It defined him as a man for the course of his life, and Mary will help us get some perspective on that. Also, we hope that Rachel Maddow, who was scheduled to be on this week, but was laid low by plague something. You might have noticed she has not been on her show because she's been ailing. So we're hoping that she's fully recovered and feeling well and fit, and we'll talk to her about. Well, originally going to talk to her about healthcare, but now I think we'll talk about the legacy
about her health,
about her health, and also about Ted Kennedy as well. Tracy Kidder, novelist. He's not a novelist. He's a writer. He's a writer.
He's going to be speaking of Broadside next week.
Broadside books on his new book, but we'll talk to him also. He's the author that's of significant note for folks in this area. Many of his books all take place in this valley, focusing on people that we all know or have known, and he is a documentary writer without peer in the United States and in the world, and he's the author of Hometown, but he's also Mountains Beyond Mountains. He's also a friend, and we will talk to him about his latest book, and talk to him about whatever the hell Tracy Kidder wants to talk about, to be honest. Because if he's here in studio, I don't want to squander the moment. So.
Right.
Who else? Anyone else we got queued up?
You have big surprises.
Look, if you want
To
to be
both
on
of
my
us,
radio
too.
show and you think you're clever and you think you're good enough to stand a few rounds with me, then
Bring it
come
on.
on, bring it on. You're invited to come. Just actually, we may debut next week our first attempt at call-ins. We're kind of trying to work out the technical aspects.
Like the phone.
The phone thing, apparently a critical feature in every call-in for a radio show. We're trying to figure
Just
that
tin
out.
can on.
Yeah. The hope is that everything will work, and we're going to give that a try. So at some point, we'll have the inaugural phone call-in thing with any luck. So
Woo.
you will have an opportunity to say hey to me. And remember, there's an 8-second delay, so if your hey involves a slurry of swears, then we won't get on the air, so don't even bother. And if I don't like what you say, I'll bleep you. I'll hang up on you. That's what radio talk hosts do.
That'll show you.
Don't fight the power. Peace out, yo.